My question's about self-judgment. Before coming to the system, I had very little self-awareness. But I was very good at getting the approval and validation of others. So even when my life was a mess, I thought I was pretty great most of the time. And now that I can see my program, my habits, and the fact that I still seek approval for others, I'm finding that in the good times I can laugh at myself and be loving to myself. But in the tougher times, I am so harsh with myself in ways that I never was before. So I was hoping you could speak about that.
You know, they say that ignorance is bliss. And in some ways it is. Because we have no idea what we're doing. We have all these masks, all these appropriate acts, all the external approval, and on some level, on a very superficial level, we think we're pretty good, no? Yeah, looking good, doing well, everything's fine. But when that illusion has a hit, we find that our foundations are very fragile. Like everything that was sustaining us starts to fall. And we don't have anywhere to hold on. And then we decide to become conscious. And when we start to go profoundly inside, we start to see the fragility of what we've created and the lies. We start to see that we're full of fear, that we don't love ourselves, and fundamentally we think there's something wrong with us, and all the masks and the pretense and the ego was just hiding something that was so immature. And this is the best moment. It's the most painful moment, but it's the best moment. Because this is the moment of transformation. We must transform. We must transform and come back to ourselves. So, all spiritual paths talk about the dark night of the soul. Well, with this system, it lasts like 6 months. Yeah. It's not just one night. No. That's another system. And you really have to start looking. And you really have to decide, do I want to keep acting? And you're acting very badly because everyone's doing the same act and everyone can see it. Or do I want to get rid of everything that's not real and start loving myself? Coming back to my authenticity, feeling good about myself exactly as I am. And when you start to do that, that's when you start to experience freedom. When you let go of the idea of how you should be and just be, you start to experience freedom. And it's such a relief. It's so easy just to be you in each moment. You don't have to lie, you don't have to act, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to beg for love, you don't have to be afraid of abandonment. You just feel an internal integrity and joy. So all of that is worth anything. Because once you have that, you're free. When you can look in the mirror and ask yourself, who would you like to be? And you're looking at that person with all the love in the world, and you know that that's the person you want to be. That's the greatest feeling, to be the best of you. And it's the easiest thing to do, no? It's the easiest thing. Because to be you, you don't have to think. You don't have to plan. You're just like a child, innocent, having fun, speaking the truth, flowing with life, trusting with yourself, trusting in you. And the universe reflects that. It reflects that. Because humanity loves vulnerability. Humanity loves authenticity. And once you have that, you're a free person. Really. You know, and to see all the things you don't like, you just laugh at them and let them go. You know, it's not worth beating yourself about them. It's not important. Don't use it as a way to torture yourself. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, I can't believe I was so violent with myself. Oh, I don't believe I was lying about my sexuality. Oh, I don't believe I was doing this and I was doing that. Forget it. Let it go. And be free. Good. Free to be me.
Hi, Isha. Reading the vibration of love. You talk in a part that the people, when we vote for the promises that the candidates do. And when they don't achieve, we get disappointed, and we started to complain that they didn't accomplish. My question is, how can we let go of the ideas that the politicians can save us as a country?
You know, I was talking about this morning. It doesn't matter what great intentions politicians have. They are always in a situation where they have to please everyone. So on some level, they don't have freedom to be integral, to do it 100%. Because in order to have power, you have to have support. In order to get into that position, you have to get money. In order to get money, you have to please people. In order to please people, you have to do what they want. Like, it's a catch-22. You can be the best of you. And not only that, you always have an opposition party. So it doesn't matter what you want to do, they want to do something different, even if it doesn't make sense. Within the democratic society, it's very hard to move forward because they say right, and even though it's obviously the best thing, the other side says no, because they're always in contra. So it's like they do this. And they're always compromising. And it might not be that they want to, but they don't have a choice. So it's a very windy road. And it's very long. So, sure, they go into power. And I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, no? They go into power and they say, we want to do this, 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 and this. And all the voters go, yay, yay. You know, he's like Nelson Mandela, or he's like Gandhi, or he's like Mother Teresa, or he's this and he's that. And then bit by bit, it all starts to come tumbling down. Because it's almost impossible. Because they're working within duality. If everyone's in agreement, it would be easy. That's why it's easier to be a dictator. Because no one can oppose you. Have you noticed they do things much faster? But we don't want dictators because we want free speech. But everyone has an opinion. Everything's fragmented. Everything's sectionalised. Everyone's fighting. Even within a football team. You know, people just can't agree on anything. Why? Because they don't know what they want. They haven't got a clue. They want to win and they want to be right. And really they don't have a clue. So if you put all your expectations in someone saving you, you're a fool. It's like you could do it with your partner. You're a fool. You do it with the president. You're a fool. Because nothing external can save you. You have to find yourself. Now, if everyone found themselves, and then we had a government based in unity and unconditional love and the elevation of consciousness, then we'd have a new experience. But well, I hope it's coming, huh? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's not that I think negative about politicians. I don't put anyone in a box. There's a mix of everything. But the thing is, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because everyone wants power. Everyone. Everyone wants what they want. And there's lots of great politicians. Really great people. But it's difficult. Yeah? Next question.
Can you talk a bit about the mirrors?
I know that I am that. And there's nothing other than that. And I know that is perfect. Within its duality, within its humanity, it is absolutely perfect. Okay, it's a little bit disappointing in moments, but perfect. Yeah, that's how it is. That is the mirror of perfection. If there's no judgment within, there's no judgment without. When I am healing, when I start the process, everything that happens externally, I have to try to embrace. And I have to take responsibility for what that makes me feel. There's no rigid intellectual concept that if that's like that, I'm exactly the same and I am that, to that extreme. It doesn't work like that. But all humans have every aspect. And you have to embrace every aspect. For example, I know my violence, I know my greed, I know my negativity, I know my judgment, I know all of these things, all my prejudices, all my frailties, all my wonderful aspects, a billion different aspects. I know them all and I embrace all of them unconditionally. And as a consequence, everything that vibrates in a low frequency just starts to fall away. It disappears. Because the judgment goes. So in this system, because it's a tantric system, and when I talk about tantric, I talk about all embracing. I take everything. I perceive everything as me, and whatever it provokes, I release. And once it's released, the judgment leaves. And the most difficult things, I have to walk towards. I walk towards to heal the separation. Because if I don't heal the separation, it's like I'm looking at the sky, no? And I say, all of those stars are me. Except for that one. I don't like that one. In fact, I don't want it in my universe. Someone turned it off. And you can't do that. The most difficult things to embrace are the things you have to walk towards. And all people have things in their closets, no? Everyone's hiding something. Everyone has something that they're ashamed of or they judge. It could be something about their physique. It could be something about their preferences. It could be something about their behaviours. But everyone has something. From one extreme to the other extreme. And we have to embrace all of that as well. You have to love the person in the mirror. That's it. But working it out? No, impossible. Impossible.
I'm a language teacher, and sometimes I find it hard to value what I give. Like, like when I do my prices or the rates, it's hard for me to evaluate. And I feel like it's a place where I don't completely embrace what I give and I don't completely value what I give. So how can I overcome that and be more integral with that and really value what I do?
You have to be clear. You have to put a value and be clear in that value. You know, why are you not valuing yourself? Ask yourself that. Go in, find the judgment, and let the judgment go. Because when it's not reflected, your worth, you get resented. Yeah? So you don't trust, and then when it's reflected, you feel discarded or put down. So where does that come from? Who does that to you? Who in your life did that to you? Why were you never good enough? Okay, so you need to heal that. You have to go deeper and you have to let it go. And you have to start valuing yourself. It's not actually an action. It's a liberation. And then it comes. Then it comes. Yeah. Everything can change like that. Consciousness jumps. I'm not valuing myself. I shift. I value myself. And it's reflected. It's reflected externally. But you have to heal it. You have to find it. And you have to be clear. Don't beg. And don't be ridiculous either. Be clear. This is what I want. Boom, 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 boom. No, I'm not accepting less. It's like that. Oh, I'm just going to go and live on the street otherwise. It's a joke. Yeah. Don't worry, you don't have to live on the street. We got lots of people you can live with. Yeah.
I also want to ask you about politicians. What will you tell the politicians that want to have the government of our countries. And also how I, from my consciousness, I can give to the unity in my country or in another countries, wherever I
The
am.
first thing every politician in the world needs to do is take my educational system and put it in the schools. And then that is the seed for the biggest forest of the world. And that will allow the whole world to breathe from a place of unconditional love. That's my recommendation. No? We have to teach the children to love themselves. We have to stop teaching them fear. We have to teach them unity, consciousness, transparency, perfection, unity, not separation, not fear, not competing, not destroying. We have to teach them love, or we have to sustain that which they already have. Because it's already perfect. They are perfect. We're the ones that tell them there's something wrong. And when something's perfect and it loves itself, it's so abundant, it gives. It just gives. Imagine a world full of people that are giving. Giving to each other, giving to the planet, giving, creating, all focused on peace. It would be unlimited. Unlimited. But it has to start with that seed of unconditional love. So simple. So simple. Sustain what's real. Next question.
You talk about giving. And I always have been generous. I have been always giving. And always I'm concerned about the people that is around me to be well. Now I decided to take, with me, I asked 60 of your books to gift.
Oh, how nice.
Linda. Because I want to trigger the Isha Center people of Mexico will know more because where we are. But also I can see another people from other countries. And I also want to offer support, help, and it's an unconditional help. But I feel as the Mexicans, we are used to be very, very warm. I am educated, a gentleman, attentive. How can I avoid for people that I offer my help? Don't misunderstand as if it's a seduction, no? Because my help goes to men or women.
You know, the thing is, if you have a clarity, you just need to be clear from the beginning. And yes, it's true. Lots of people have that fear. If they receive, they expect that you want something. And you just need to be transparent from the very beginning that it's just for this. I'm just giving. I don't want anything in return. And just be clear with them. But thank you for doing that. That's very sweet. You know, Mexicans are always very generous. It's like they're, of all my experience in the world, the most generous people I've ever met are the Mexicans. They're always like this. And it's a beautiful aspect that Mexicans have. Very open, very giving, very loving, very abundant. So just be like that. Just be like that. It's pretty natural, no? Gracias.
I know, or what I understand. Consciousness of animals is collective, and the humans is individual. I'm clear, but my question is, if people that live together or have many animals, that helps them to create a consciousness, better consciousness, faster, more beautiful, sweeter, because there is nothing more beautiful than to see a horse, a dog, at the eyes, looking in the eyes. Consciousness expands more when the human beings will live closer or more attached to the animals.
Okay, I can answer that question. The first thing that expands consciousness is an internal focus. It's the beginning and the end. That capacity to bring the love out. Often people that have trouble expressing love learn to express love through the presence of animals, because the animals are unconditional, and that opens people's hearts. I don't know if you've noticed, but we live with an abundance of animals. Yeah, this is for sure. And a lot of my teachers, when they first came, shared that experience, no? That because of the animals, they were more open, more connected, more giving. And I think, yes, on some level, firstly, they give you unconditional love, but secondly, you give them unconditional love. So it's a very lovely opening. You know, I can't say for sure if everyone has an animal, they're going to have an open heart. But the animals reflect that. And, you know, it's a very beautiful aspect of creation, the innocence of the animals, no? And that sensitivity they have. Sure. De nada.
Come visit our webpage for books, movies, and our wonderful retreat centers. Isha's simple yet powerful system is transforming lives around the world.